Thank you very much. Speaking of Robinhood, Stephanie Guild is with us right now, the Chief Investment Officer. It's always good to have you on the program. What's your take on where we're going here in a new month?
I mean, I think we're at a point in the market where we've seen a lot of gains, and obviously you've had some news out that is starting to show that perhaps valuations have reached expectations. And I think we're at the point in the market where, my target was 6,500, and I think we're going to just grind around here. You always get to a point where things are going to consolidate, and that's where I think we are. So I think the S&P is going to have a tough time getting much higher. But below the surface, there's a lot of movement. And, we're seeing that in tech versus financials today, for example. And that's where I think that's why I think you're going to have a hard time seeing the S&P really rally much higher. And obviously, there's a lot of other drama coming up between tariffs and as the Fed turns, as we like to say. So, I think there's a lot of reasons why I think I would be a little bit more cautious going into next week. But I still think longer term, earnings are there. And obviously, if we continue to get more rate cuts, depends on the reason, though.
On the earnings front, did you come away from NVIDIA feeling just fine about where the AI trade is heading from here? It's hugely popular with the cohort that Robinhood represents, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, our customers tend to trade around it, so it's been a place that they, have been adding on this dip. But I think from a fundamental perspective, the earnings showed that they still have a very strong business. There's a lot of questions about their business in China, which makes up about 12% of their revenues, or has historically. But I think there's the fundamentals are still strong. It's just all about expectations, and expectations have met where they are. They're just not beating as much as they used to.
I mean, there's the debate over whether what we witnessed this month in terms of stock performance is a precursor to what lies ahead. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing for the market if you get a sizable enough rotation from AI-related stocks into more broad areas of the market. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think the rotation actually started at the beginning of July. And you kind of see it even in our flows at Robinhood, and you kind of see it in the way markets have been moving. And I think that rotation has just been a little hesitant here and there because you still have growth in the tech sector, and there's still a lot of opportunity. Maybe not necessarily in the biggest names, but certainly in some of the the small, maybe the mid cap or just not as well owned names like Pure Storage yesterday, obviously really trounced expectations. So I think that rotation will continue through September and through the end of the year. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a correction or consolidation starting, in September.
Do you like financials as much as everybody else seems to?
I do like financials, but we've been biased towards regional banks because they seem cheaper. I also think they could end up benefiting from deregulation a little more, perhaps a steeper yield curve, and also M&A. I think that's where they'll end up seeing maybe a little bit more positive there than in the large cap space.